So good morning. My name is Y.V. Ramarao, computer in computer in lecturer in computer applications, Government Degree College, Hyderabad. So today we discuss about different types of computers or classification of computers for first year Bcom computer applications semester 1 FIT or first year UG BA Bcom BSc all classes Aecc basic computer skills. So the topic is today's topic is about types of computers or classification of computers, different types of computers. It is an essay type question which is coming from UNIT-1. So in this PPT we may discuss about what is a PC or a computer, components of a PC, main unit, CPU, memories, keyboard, peripherals used, all these things. So what is a computer? Computer is electronic device operating under the control of instructions, means software stored in its own memory unit that can accept data, means input, manipulate data, means processing or process, and produce information, that is output from the processing. Generally the term is used to describe a collection of devices that function together as a system. So generally a computer is an electrical, electronic and mechanical device used in day-to-day life in all areas to do some calculations or to do some operations like accounting, payroll systems, payroll, doing some payroll operations, all these things by using some instructions. Set of instructions is called as software or programs. By using input devices, that is data, input data, and this input instructions or these programs are generally processed, that is called as processing, and produce outputs by using some output devices, that is called as processing. So this is the basic working of a computer system. So this is a simple diagram of a computer system having four parts: hardware, software, data, and user. Hardware is nothing but it is a physical components of a system. Physical components of a system, that is electrical, electronic, mechanical devices of a computer system is called as hardware, like monitors, keyboard, like that. Software means programs, a set of instructions or a set of programs or application programs is called as a software. Data means the user input. Generally the data means the user input which is supplied by the users to process the information. User means the end user, generally the end user or the application programmer or the end user or customer and everything in a business area. So what is a computer do? Means how a computer works. Means computers can perform four general operations which comprise the following information processing cycle. That is, first one is cycle, input, second one is process, output, and storage. Generally computers are working based on these four. First they accept some input from the users and computer can process do some process on this input and generate some output based on our requirements, and these the programs and instructions and outputs are generally stored in a computer, that is called as a storage unit or a memory unit of a computer. Storage unit or a memory unit of a computer. So these are the four important components: input unit, processing unit, output unit, and storage unit. Input unit, processing unit, output unit, and storage unit. So computers use the same basic hardware categorized into four types. So computers uses the same basic hardware, means basic hardware means electrical, electronic, mechanical devices, and generally hardware comes in four parts. What are the four parts or components of a computer or hardware? Processing devices, memory devices, input output devices, and storage devices. So what are processing devices? Processing devices means generally CPU or a processor of a computer, ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, CU means control unit, and Memory devices means different types of RAMs, primary memory, secondary memory, auxiliary memory, main memory, RAM, ROM, DROM, SD-ROM, like that. Input output devices, as you know, that keyboard, mouse, printers, video, screens, DVDs, like that. A storage unit means hard disks, secondary disks like pen drives, like that. So these are the four important components of hardware. What are the four important hardware components of a computer? Processing devices means processors. Memory devices means RAMs. Input output devices means all keyboard, mouse, like that. Storage devices means like hardware, CD RAM and others. So what are the primary component of a computer's components? What are the different primary or main components of a computer? Means input devices, central processing unit, memory, output devices, storage devices. So input devices, as you know, that input devices are simply accept the data or information from the user for processing. Central processing unit or CPU or the processor is the brain of a computer, is used to do some calculations, comparisons, and some comparisons by using input, feed it. And memory unit or memory device are used to store all the instructions, programs, application programs, and softwares, intermediate results, and all the other things in the storage unit. It is called as a memory. And output devices means generally they produce the outputs or results of a processing or results of a program or application in a human readable form, that is generally in English and other human being readable forms. Storage devices means storage devices are generally used to store all the application programs and softwares and other things. So these are the primary components of a computers. So what are the input devices? Central processing unit, memory, so output devices, storage devices. So this is also called as a working of a computer. This is also called as a working of a computer. So how a computer works means, first generally it accepts some input or some values through input devices entered by the users and send it to the processing unit or a CPU. CPU or processing unit is used to process or do some calculations like arithmetic calculations, logical calculations, means comparisons like less than, greater than, like that, and generate the required outputs. Meanwhile, the memory unit or a storage unit is used to store all the programs, instructions, application programs, and other commands given by the user. And output devices are used to produce the output in a human readable form, that is generally in English. On the output devices like monitors and printers. And storage units are used to store all the programs and other applications. So structure of a computer system, information processing cycle. So how a computer, again this diagram explains how a computer works and what are the different components of a computer system. So input, CPU or a central processing unit, storage unit, and output unit. So basically 4 units are there. This is called as a structure or a block diagram of a computer system. This is called as a structure or a block diagram of a computer system. It contains 4 units: input unit and output unit, and CPU or a central processing unit, and storage unit. So input unit have some input devices like keyboard and mouses to accept the instructions given by the users. Output units have their own output unit devices like monitor and printers. And CPU, central processing unit. CPU or a central processing unit generally contains a processor and some RAM or main memory or a some RAM, some processor, and some RAM. RAM means it is a main memory, and some ALU. Another unit is called as ALU, arithmetic logic unit. RAM means read-only memory, random access memory. CPU means central processing unit, and some temporary registers and control unit. So CPU mainly contains 4 unit: processing unit, RAM or memory, control unit CU, and processing unit and temporary registers. So CU means control unit is the overall unit. It is a unit to control all the overall operation of a computers, and RAM is the main memory of a computer. All the programs and instructions are temporarily stored here. CPUs and processor is the brain of a computer. It is used to do all the calculations and comparisons, and temporary registers are used to hold all the intermediate results or all the results which are produced during doing some calculations, while doing some calculations. And fourth unit is storage unit. It is also called as auxiliary unit. Here a storage unit is also connected to the CPU. In storage unit, all the programs and applications and softwares are permanently stored. It is external storage. It is also called as external storage device. Inside a CPU or a processing unit, we have some RAM. It is called as a memory. Memory is different memory, and memory is purely a temporary memory. RAM is a temporary memory. Whereas storage, auxiliary storage or external storage or secondary storage devices are permanent devices, permanent storage units where the data, information and programs are permanently stored for future processing. So what are data and information? What is data? These two terms are we may frequently encountered. So all computer processing requires data, which is a collection of raw facts, figures and symbols such as numbers, words, images, video, sound give to the computer during the input phase. Computers manipulate data to create information. Information is a set that is organized, meaningful and useful. So during the output phase, the information that has been created. So what is there are many terms are here: data and information. So many new terms are introduced here: data and information. So data, raw data and information and data processing, like that. Data means it is a collection of some information in the form of some raw facts or figures, symbols, anything. Information is nothing but processed data. Information is nothing but it is a processed data. Generally processed means it is a meaningful form of data. Information is nothing but a meaningful form of data. So here in the last class also we may discuss all these things. There are many useful input devices. There are different types of useful devices. Input devices are there like keyboard, mouse or trackball, joystick, touch screen, light pen, image scanners, digital cameras, voice input systems. All these are the different types of input systems, input devices. So what are they? Once again we discuss all these things. Keyboards. So these are all the popular input devices: keyboards, mouse or trackball, joystick, touch screen, light pen, image scanner, digital cameras, voice inputs, like that. So what is the first input? Standard input device is keyboard. Is an input device. Older keyboards are 84 systems. Common keyboards are 1 or 2 keys. Multimedia support keyboards 1 or 10. So keyboard is the frequently used input, standard input device, generally having 108 keys, having different types of keys for entering some commands or instructions or programs on a computer. So normally keyboard normally consists of 4 main parts: typewriter alphanumeric keys, alphabetic keys, arrow keys, numeric keypad or numeric keys, and function keys, and special keys like shift key, alt key, control key, space bar, tab keys, like that. So mouse is also another popular input device. A mouse usually has 2 or 3 finger buttons that you can press, one on the left and one on the right, one on the center. Generally in Windows operating system, clicking a mouse button will make your computer do something. Means Windows operating system is a GUI based environment operating system, so that we may use mouse frequently by using 3 buttons on the mouse, that is left button, right button, and scrolling bar underneath of a mouse. And CPU or a central processing unit. Generally, what are the structure? What is the structure of a block diagram? What is the block diagram of a computer, or how the computer generally works? Means central processing unit is the CPU. The central processing unit contains electronic circuits that cause processing to occur. The CPU interprets instructions to the computer, performs the logical and arithmetical and processing operations, and causes the input and output operations to occur. It is considered the brain of a computer. Generally, the CPU is the brain of a computer. Contains some electronic circuits used to process some data or information, and the CPU generally interprets executes the instructions given by the user to the computer, and so perform some doing some logical and arithmetic operations. So generally CPU is the brain of a computer. So structure of a CPU means generally CPU or a central processing unit contains this structure. 3 components. First one is memory or registers or temporary registers. Second part is called as arithmetic and logic unit. It is called as ALU. Arithmetic and logical unit. It is called as ALU. Arithmetic and logic. Third one is control unit. So these are the 3 important components of a CPU or a central processing unit. Generally, these 3 are interconnected with each other to process the data or information, and to transfer the intermediate results, or to transfer the inputs and outputs generated. So memory or a temporary registers are generally used to hold the intermediate results, means temporary values produced during execution of a program. ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, is responsible for doing all the arithmetic operations like additions, subtractions, divisions, multiplications, exponentiation, and finding reminders and finding coefficients, like that. And logic comparisons means less than or equals to, greater than equals to, equals to, doing all the comparison or logical part. And control unit is used to control the overall operation of a computer, means it controls and it controls and monitors and controls all the other parts of a computer, like input devices, output devices, memory, storage unit, memories, and controls processor. It controls over all other things, and it is also used to communicate and transfer the data or information from one unit to another unit. And it is one of the main part, or it is also called as a nervous system of a computer. Nervous system of a computer is called as the control unit. Control unit is the main nervous system of a computer. So what are output devices? Basic output devices are monitors, speakers, printers, and plotters. So monitors are used to produce the data or information or the results on the screen or a monitor. Generally monitors are like TV screens. Generally all the monitors are built up with CRT technologies, that is cathode ray tubes. It is one of the electronic component used and various electronic and electrical components are used in the electrical, electronic and mechanical components are used inside the monitors. And generally monitors have 24 rows and 80 columns, 24 rows and 80 columns, and having some pointer or a cursor where we have to enter some text or data or information on the screen. So what are the drawbacks of CRT monitors? Means they are very large in size, very heavy in weight, lot of we require lot of electricity and generates huge amount of temperatures also. Another type of monitors are LCDs, LCD and LEDs. What is LCD? Means liquid crystal display. LCD means liquid crystal display, and commonly found on laptops and desktop versions exist, solve the problems of CRT. So fluorescent light inside is used. So generally LCDs are small in size and generates less heat or less temperatures, and these are also mainly used in laptops, while because they're having some less weightage and low weight and less in size. So what are the different types of storage devices? What are the different types of storages or storage devices used? Means generally storage devices means memories. Storage devices are mainly called as memories. There are different types of memories are used, different types of varieties of memories are used. Uh, some memories are called as volatile memory, some are called as non-volatile, and some are permanent memories, some are temporary memories, and like that. So these are the main storage devices mainly used in all the computer systems. So what are storage devices? Generally in storage devices we may use memory as an important, memory as a component of a system. What is memory? Memories are generally used to store the data or information inside a computer. And generally basically memories are two types, volatile and non-volatile. Volatile means temporary memory. Volatile means temporary memories. That is called as, also called as main memories of a system. Main memory of a system or a primary memory of a system. And RAM's random access memory. RAM is the main part of a computer system, or RAM is also called as a volatile memory or a primary memory, or primary memory, or some volatile memory. So non-volatile memories means otherwise they are permanent memories. So other type of memories like RAM, ROM, hard disk, floppy disk, compact disk, CDs and DVDs, all these things have. We discuss all these things. What are their characteristics, features, why they are used and when they are used. So what is a volatile memory? As we already told that volatile memories are temporary memories. Generally RAMs or storage units are two types: primary memories and secondary memory. Primary memory and secondary memories. Primary memories are temporary memories. Secondary memories are permanent memories. And primary memories are high speed memories, whereas temporary memories are low speed memories. And primary memories are very costly memories, and temporary memories are cheap and low cost memories. And primary memories are also called as a main memory of a system, and temporary memories are also called as secondary memories are auxiliary memories, and primary memories are called as volatile memories, whereas all the other memories are called as non-volatile memories. So basically, storage units or storage devices are divided into different parts: RAM and ROM, and hard disk, floppy disks, compact disks, CDs, CD and DVDs. So RAM. So what is the RAM and ROM? Basically, memories are two types, RAM and ROM. RAM is the main memory of a computer system. RAM is the main memory of a computer system. Random access memory. It is high speed, high cost, very fast memories. It is also temporary memory, and so it is also called as volatile memory. So what is volatile memory or RAM? So memory, also called as random access memory or RAM, is the main memory of the computer. It consists of electronic components that store data, including numbers, letters of the alphabet, graphics and sound. Any information stored in RAM is lost when the computer is turned off. So RAM is the main memory of a computer system, or RAM is the primary memory of a computer system. It is also called as a volatile memory. Why? Because volatile memory means whenever we switched off the computer or whenever the power gone, generally the information, the data or information inside a RAM or inside the RAM or primary memory are automatically erased or lost whenever the power is gone. So that they are called as a volatile memory. These are very high speed memories, high cost memories, also called as main memory of a computers. And RAMs are not only RAM, all other components of other components of memories also contains electronic components inside them. Electronic components inside them means generally some registers or temporary registers are used, some electric circuits are used, electronic circuits are used. Generally they are used to store data and information, letters, alphabets, like that. So non-volatile memory. What is non-volatile means? They are permanent memories. Non-volatile means non-temporary. Non-volatile means non-temporary, means permanent memories. So they are also called as ROMs, or they are also called as ROM or read-only memories. They are also called as read-only memories or ROM. So read-only memory or ROM is the memory that is etched on the chip that has startup directions for your computer. It is permanent memory. The contents of ROM remain when the power is switched off. So ROM, there are basically, as we already discussed, two types of memories, RAM and ROMs. RAM is a volatile memory or a permanent temporary memory. ROM is a non-volatile or non-temporary or permanent memory. So ROM also having some chips and electronic components inside it, and this is the it is a permanent memory, and generally the data and information inside a ROM are keep permanently or kept permanently when the power is also gone, means when the power is switched off. So next is another important input devices. Another important part of input devices is called as floppy disks. So all these things we may discuss. So another important component is floppy disk. What is a floppy disk? Floppy disk is also one of the important input device. One of the important type of. Generally, these are the oldest or olden days. We use floppy drives and floppy disks. Floppy disk is a disk or a magnetic media with like in a postcard size, and floppy drive is a device. Floppy drive is a device used to hold and read the data or information from the floppy disks. So floppy disks and floppy drives are two components. So auxiliary storage devices are used for permanent storage of data. So another type of data or information, or another type of memory is called as auxiliary device or secondary memory storage devices. So what are secondary storage? As we already discussed, storage devices storage units or storage devices are of two types. First one is called as primary devices or secondary primary memory units or primary devices. Second one is secondary devices units or secondary memory units. Primary devices devices are like RAMs and ROMs, and secondary devices are permanent memories. Secondary devices uses permanent memories where the data or information or the programs or applications are permanently stored inside a computer or a device. So there are many types of secondary devices are used. There are many types of secondary devices are used. We may discuss all these things one by one here.